Hi friends, welcome you all to chapter number 3 of volume 1 of Economic Survey. Hope you learnt a lot in the last two chapters, my dear friends. This is another interesting chapter. So this chapter is, does sovereign credit rating of India reflect its fundamentals? Sovereign credit rating agencies, they have been rating India's what do you call credit as in some grade. Now, does that grade reflect India's fundamentals? That's how the chapter goes, and the chapter heading ends like this, saying a big no. Got that? What I'm trying to tell you. Okay, it says no. Essentially, what survey is trying to do in this chapter is it's challenging the method and the paradigms from where the sovereign credit rating agencies have, uh, you know, graded the India's debt quality, my dear friends, credit quality. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you? Basically, what the credit rating agencies do is they map the possibility of credit default. So, uh, they generally divide the credit quality of sovereign in terms of investment grade and speculative grade, my dear friends. Investment grade, speculative grade. Investment grade is where most people would like to invest. Speculative grade has greater risk of default. Now, why is survey making a chapter on this? Recently, sovereign credit rating agencies downgraded sovereign credit of India to lowest rung of investment grade. Thank God it did not take it to speculative grade, but lowest rung of investment grade, which is BBB minus or BAA3. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? Depending on which credit rating agency is doing it, Standard or Poor or Fitch or Moody's or whatsoever. Fair enough, my dear friends. Okay. Now, this is a cause of concern. Why this is a cause of concern? Okay, why this is a cause of concern? Because mm, does it, India's uh, credit being, India's credit rating being downgraded, hmm, does it reflect India's fundamentals? When there was a thorough analysis done, my dear friends, to look into whether it reflected India's fundamentals, one thing was clearly understood. No. Why? After a lot of analysis, it was found out that so many things that matter, to the macroeconomic stability, so many fundamentals that matter to macroeconomic stability, India was a clear outlier in comparison to those countries with similar grading. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? What I'm trying to tell you is as simple as this. India's fundamentals are so very different from economies who have been given the same grade as India's recently. Are you connecting to what I'm talking about? Take the case of, see, in the survey, there's a lot of analysis, a lot of graphs put out, my dear friends, where it's showing India's place in comparison to other countries which have got the same grade. Uh, Take the case of GDP, take the case of inflation, take the case of ease of doing business, take the case of investor protection, take the case of primary balance, current account balance, uh, political stability, yeah, and corruption, or what do you call, my dear friends, the reserve adequacy ratio, or the sovereign credit history. You take anything, India rule of law, even rule of law for that matter, in every aspect of fundamentals, India is doing exceptionally well, and still how its sovereign credit rating has come down. This is a cause of real concern, my dear friends. Got that? Now I'm trying to tell you. And this is why the sovereign credit rating agencies have invited our wrath, and more so in this chapter of economic survey, where it is questioning it. I mean, it's questioning what, the methodology that is used by you, the principles that is used by you in, rating us is not right. Got that? No, what I'm trying to tell you. Perfect, my dear friends. All of you, superb. Now, so what is happening? Mm, all right. So the question is, why if India is doing well, why has the sovereign credit rating come down? Why has it come to the lowest rung of the investment grade? Let us just quickly look into the credit rating history of India, my dear friends. Till 2004, India was actually in the speculative grade, mind you. India's sovereign credit was in the speculative grade, which means what? Most people were not willing to even invest, thanks to the great rating by these agencies. That too at a time when actually India was experiencing a lot of growth. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? Now, starting from 2004, one by one, Moody, Fitch, S&P, they started to put India on the investment growth, and that too at at a higher pedestal. Okay, recently they have brought it down because they have inclination to base their credit rating in terms of pro-cyclical fiscal policies, my dear friends. In the previous video, I've tried to explain to you the difference between pro-cyclical fiscal policy, counter-cyclical fiscal policy. In pro-cycle, what do? If the economy is already doing well, the government also spends more, reduces the taxes. If the economy is not doing well, government also spends less, it also increases the tax rates. Okay, this may be true in the case of advanced economies, but in the case of a developing economy like India, my dear friends, yeah, whenever there is crisis, when no one else is coming forward to spend, it's government which has to spend, and government has to take initiative in terms of reducing the tax rate so that businesses will, come back to normalcy, and it will lead to overall growth. Yes or no? Correct, my dear friends? And if how government also doesn't have money, government also doesn't have resources, so automatically, notwithstanding the fact that the crisis is already there, it will have to go for a lot of loans. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? And when a government goes for such a measure, it the credit rating agencies calls it foul, and they're automatically reducing the sovereign credit rating. I mean, they're automatically decreasing the credit worthiness of the sovereign credit. Are you connecting to what I'm talking about, my dear friends? See, the methodology, the paradigm is in itself flawed, is what the survey argues. I mean, it does not apply to India's case, is what survey argues. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? And because, uh, maybe the credit rating agencies are not entirely correct in mapping the creditworthiness of the sovereign credits. In the past, also, whenever India's sovereign credit has been downgraded, it has not had any significant impact on three major indicators in economy. One, the Sensex. Two, the foreign exchange rate. Three, the yield on government securities. Three things matter a lot, my dear friends. Our own Sensex. Yeah, it should have topsy-turvied, no? Whenever the credit rating agencies would have downgraded us, nothing has happened. Only a short, fall like this, and again. Which means what? Nobody is taking it seriously. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? So, when the credit rating agencies are downgrading, should it have at least affected the forex rate? Connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends. That has also not happened. Okay, at least the yield of government securities. Has it fallen? No. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you? I mean, has it affected the yield of government securities? Please do understand this, my dear friends. Okay, has it affected? I mean, should because the sovereign credit rating has been downgraded, does it mean government stands to lose? No, even it has not negatively affected the yield of government securities. Which means what? In the past, whenever India's sovereign credit rating has been downgraded, we have not had any major impact on the major indicators like this, my dear friends. But then, have we also had impact on some things that really matters to economy? Survey calls it like this noisy, opaque, noisy, which means what? It's making a lot of noise. Yeah, these credit rating agencies, opaque, because we don't know what's the methodology they follow and all that. This noisy, opaque credit rating, has it affected at least some area of economy which actually matters to us as economy that we are right now? Yes, it has. The FPI inflows, my dear friends, the foreign portfolio investment inflows, that gets affected because there are many portfolio investments that can only come to India if uh, you have a certain grading, if you have a certain grading by these credit rating agencies. So it can't come when it is below that. Are you connecting to what I'm talking about, my dear friend? So in that aspect, we have got hurt. And that is why we are actually taking it to, we are uh, creating an international debate around this, because there are so many countries, so many developing economies like us who will be at the suffering end, yeah, because of the opaque and not so universal methodology of arriving at where the credit has to be graded. Are you connecting to what I'm talking about, my dear friends? Perfect. So Financial Stability Board is already considering this. India has made a official complaint. Yeah, and Financial Stability Board is considering this inclination of credit rating agencies to decide on the creditworthiness of sovereign credit based on pro-cycle, where most countries like India actually go for a counter-cyclical fiscal policy. Are you connecting to what I'm talking about, my dear friends? Look at even the, see, we have such huge forex reserves. Our short-term debt as a percentage of total debt is so low. We have had zero sovereign credit default history. Are you zero sovereign credit default history, my dear friends? With all these things at our advantage, all of a sudden, when our sovereign credit is downgraded, yeah, not a good thing. Correct, my dear friend? So, we're trying to assert in the economic survey very boldly by quoting Rabindranath Tagore. We have to go with our head held high. We don't have to go by the noisy comments by these credit rating agencies. Are you connecting to what I'm talking about, my dear friends? Thank you. Thank you so much. So, I hope you learned something. Yes? Yes? Learned a lot? Thank you, my dear friends. Let us catch up again in the fourth chapter of Volume 1 of Economic Survey. Thank you so much, my dear friends.